help finishing up your coffee cup lab wrap up, we should be able to fix you up today. I'm going to open up Google Chrome browser. I've got the document that you're working in, or at least a version of it, set up. And the first thing we're going to do here is just sort of orient to it. So you can see that I've got some data entered. That's a step that you have to complete. It's automatically charted that data, which we've got a nice graph of it. And we've got tabs down the bottom here for different tools and tasks that you need to complete. Tool that you want to look at here is the instruction tab. It guides you through the work you need to do. And the instructions are listed right here under task, and you've got a place to mark that they're done. So the first task is to fill in the data table from minutes 1 to 25 with both time and temp data. You may recall that I've already done that. I'm going to mark it finished and move on to the second tab or task. It says add table borders, center all data to give it a nice finished look. So we're going to go to the data and graph tab. I want to add some borders to this data that we've added. So what we need to do is just highlight the 2 columns and 27 rows as it turns out. All right. And your border tool is located in the toolbar up here. You can see that I've hovered over it to label borders there. If you click on it, you can change the border color. You can change the line type or border style. We're just going to keep it simple. And I want outline and internal borders, which you can see what that looks like. It also mentioned that we needed to center the data. That's easy to do. You just go to the alignment tool, which is located here, and center it. All that data looks nicely centered. I do notice that some of the data here goes to the tens position, others to the ones. I'd like to even that up. So I'm just going to highlight column B alone, and I can use the decimal place tool. If I move it 1 to the right, they all have a decimal in the tens position, which makes that look very neat. The last item is, yeah, no, that looks perfect. So we'll go back to the instruction tab. We added borders, we centered the data, gave it a nice finished look. Done and done. Third instruction, task number 3. Add a trend line and change the color of the data points to the color in the table below. So let's take a look below. This is actually cup station number 4, which means we have to use dark green number 2. Okay, now that we've checked that, we'll go to the data tab and we need to edit these points. To do that, simply click on a point. Actually, you have to double click quite fast. There we go, double click. And it brings up the chart editor automatically. It's put us in the series tab, which is where you can change things related to the data in your graph. And you'll see that you've got some options, one of which is color. We're going to change the color to dark green number 2. Just go down the list of green and hover over each color until you find the one you want. Dark green number 2. There it is. Done. It told us to add a trend line, so we're just going to go down a little bit further down in this tab, or rather in the chart editor. There's an option for the trend line. And you can change the trend line color to match dark green number 2 as well. That looks pretty nice. One thing I notice is that this linear trend line, you'll notice it gives the name, type of trend line right here. Underneath trend line it says linear. It doesn't fit the data very well. Most of them are linear, but a couple of the cups produced a polynomial trend. There it is. It fits pretty well. Remember, you can always change the trend line to fit by simply choosing a different style until you see one that fits well, but the polynomial fits great. All right, let's go back and check what we were asked to do. We were asked to add the trend line, change the color, do that in the series tab. Looks done. Okay, great. Third task, add your cup description to the title, where shown. Make sure your graph has appropriate axis labels and units. Doing this, not a problem. We just want to take a look down here. Cup number 4, it looks like the title is supposed to be Cup 4 16-ounce styrofoam with lid. You don't have to retype it, just click on it, copy it, as done. And I can go back to the Data and Graph tab. If I double click on the title, it actually opens up a place where I can edit it. I can delete out this placeholder text, and I can paste in. I'll just do a paste, put in what I just copied. I noticed it got rid of the space here, so I'm going to just pop that back in. Looks pretty good. And we've got that. It told us to change the title text to the same color as the data points. That was dark green number 2. That looks pretty fresh. I think we've done everything. Let's go back and double check. Add the cup description. Show and make sure your graph is appropriate axis labels and units. Ooh, forgot that. Let's pop back. Axis labels. Don't forget those. Well, the good news is they're already in the table. The vertical axis is temperature. So I'll copy that unit, and if I double click on the label, the chart editor pops up to the right. Just highlight the existing placeholder text, paste in the new text that we want, which is what we just copied off of the table, temperature in degrees Celsius. We're going to do that also for the horizontal, which is the time. I'll copy that, double click it, highlight the placeholder text, and paste that in. Looks great. If you want to do stuff like put them bold, you can do that now. It did say specifically, though, to leave them black. Great. All right, now we've taken care of instruction 4. Number 5, leave your axis labels black. Change your title to match the color of the data points. I actually got ahead of myself on that. We've done that. The title's in green, the data points are in green, the trend line is green. Both of the axis labels are in black. We can check off that that's done. Perfect. Your last step, last 2, are to answer the wrap-up questions and turn it in. It does say, answer in complete sentences, use observations from your lab notes as evidence. Don't forget TTQA on your questions. Don't forget to use evidence wherever possible. So if you have something that you could bring numbers in from your data that support your response, integrate those into your answer to make certain that you are supporting your ideas with details. You type in the blue boxes. I'll score over to the right here to let you know how you did. I want to remind you one last thing. Everybody completed a reflection of the last lab wrap-up. That reflection is where you identified shortcomings that caused you to lose points and made a few goals to make better responses. Don't forget to review that. Learn from past mistakes. Carry that forward to improve your performance as you go. That's it. We got a great looking graph. You can turn this in and get all the credit that you have worked for. All right, that's it. I'm done. Best of luck and have a good weekend.